I love to cook, or rather, prepare food in general. That's actually what brought my girlfriend and me together. It's kind of a funny story, or weird, depending on how you look at it, how we met. It was in a grocery store, in the soup and pasta aisle. We both reached for the same can of tomato sauce at the same time. Sounds cheesy, I know, but that's actually how it happened. And we both retracted our hands and apologized at the same time. We laughed at how awkward that situation got so quickly. The rest of that situation is a little more sappy than I'd like to share, but to wrap it all up, we had somehow gotten into a conversation about spaghetti. Yes, spaghetti. And something clicked with Danielle and me in that conversation. Before I knew it, I was considering going to a farmer's market in the next 4 days that I had already been aware of. Hundreds of people would be attending, both cooking, selling, and sampling food at their own stands. Danielle was there to help her sister, Janice, who was actually taking culinary classes, aspiring to one day run her own shop, although Danielle admitted she very much enjoyed cooking as well. I admitted this too, especially when it came to pasta. Yes, pasta. I don't know what it is, but I love it. And I can make so many different pasta dishes that you might even call it an obsession. If you've heard of the dish, chances are I know how to make it. One thing I know for sure I love maybe a little too much is spaghetti. Yes, spaghetti. Fast forward 2 years. Danielle and I share an apartment where the grocery store at which I work, and where we first met, is close by. Things have been alright, except for one big issue that I didn't want to admit I had for the longest time until I couldn't ignore it any longer. I sleepwalk. Now, when I say sleepwalk, I mean the kind of sleepwalking where you leave the house, go somewhere either by foot or car, do something mundane, then return home, and get back in bed. I've even woken up with dried mud on my feet. We never did figure out where I went that night. Now, something is wrong. I don't know, maybe it's gotten out of hand at this point. After all, Danielle has mentioned a few times that my sleepwalking made her nervous, because there had been a few nights where she sat up in bed after realizing I was no longer lying next to her, but instead in the middle of the street, just standing there. She would guide me all the way back to bed, and I would never remember any of it the next morning. But mostly she's woken up in the middle of the night to a light in the kitchen where I'll be cooking spaghetti. Spaghetti. Sometimes I have a knife out, and she's scared I'll hurt myself, but I don't think I would. I've prepared spaghetti so many times now that I could do it with my eyes closed. I don't know, something feels off. I'm eating this spaghetti, but I don't taste anything special. Did I miss a major ingredient? More than one, perhaps? Or have I just become so used to spaghetti that I can hardly even appreciate the taste anymore? Not like I used to, anyway. Did I leave this knife here from last night when I was sleepwalk cooking? I don't remember it being here. I thought I heard Danielle's voice a few minutes ago. She sounded pretty distressed. I'm calling to her now, but she's not answering. One thing that always cheers her up, though, is when I make some crazy, absurd, just plain silly recipe of spaghetti that I pretty much just came up with on a whim. But it's somehow always delicious, no matter what. It's funny, really. It always makes her laugh, this crazy little thing for spaghetti I have. I guess I've gotten to the point of making spaghetti so well that I couldn't make a bad dish even if I tried. I guess it really is ridiculous. I guess all you can do is laugh. I really think Danielle should taste this particular dish, however, because she might be able to tell me what ingredients I forgot. Although she's still not answering. I'm coming to my senses now, and I can taste the spaghetti much better, but it's awful. What did I mess up? It must have been the sauce. Wow, I really did put too much tomato sauce in here. The whole jar, practically. This is not what I thought it was. I'm kneeling, and my face is wet, all around my mouth. What the hell? This isn't spaghetti. It's too thick. too tough, too red. I'm kneeling in bed looking down at Danielle with the knife at my side. Her eyes and mouth are open and she's staring back up at me, but she's a complete mess and she's not responding. She's just staring.